Acherontisicus. The Acherontisicus was an enormous crocodile that lived in the rivers of tropical forests. Despite its size, the Acherontisicus could still be attacked by the Titan boa, which was twice as big. Arctodus. The Arctodus is one of the biggest bears to have ever lived on Earth, even bigger than the cave bear. The Arctodus was an omnivore. It ate everything and frightened other animals away because it was so big. Chronopio. The Chronopio was also known as the saber-toothed squirrel. The Chronopio lived during the same period as the dinosaurs. Diodon. Diodon means destructive teeth. The diodon looked like a wild boar the size of a rhinoceros. Archaeotherium. The Archaeotherium was the size of a rhinoceros and had an enormous pair of horns. Just behind its two great horns, the Archaeotherium had two little horns. Brontotherium. Brontotherium means thunder beast. The Brontotherium looked like a huge rhinoceros. Darwinius. The Darwinius had a thumb like us and nails instead of claws. The Darwinius lived in trees and ate fruit. Dinotherium. Dinotherium means terrible beast. The Dinotherium's tusks grew downwards. Deidicoris. The Deidicoris looks like an enormous armadillo. The tail of the Deidicoris was tipped with long spikes. Eohippus. The Eohippus is an ancestor of the horse. The Eohippus was about the size of a dog. Cave lion. Cave lions were much bigger than lions we have today. Cave lions lived off bison, megaloceros. Macrauchenia. Macrauchenia means long llama, and it was the size of a camel. The Macrauchenia had a long neck and a short trunk. Caveman. Cavemen lived in caves and drew mammoth and rhinoceros on the walls. Prehistoric man did not know the dinosaurs. He appeared much later. Hyaenodon. Hyaenodon means hyena tooth. The hyaenodon ran very fast and sometimes hunted in packs. Mammoth. The mammoth used its long tusks to search in the snow for grass to eat. With its long coat, the mammoth was well adapted to the cold. Megaloceros. The megaloceros was a giant elk with enormous antlers, which it would shed every year and then grow again. Because of the size of its antlers, the megaloceros lived in the prairies and not in the forests. Megatherium. The Megatherium was a giant as big as an elephant. The megatherium could stand on its hind legs and lean on its huge tail to grab leaves with its long claws. Paraceratherium. The Paraceratherium is an enormous rhinoceros without a horn. The Paraceratherium is also called the giraffe rhinoceros. Woolly rhinoceros. The woolly rhinoceros lived in Europe and Asia, where it was very cold at the time. The woolly rhinoceros was the same size as the present-day rhinoceros. Smilodon. Smilodon means chiseled tooth. The Smilodon is also called the saber-toothed cat. Forus racos. The Forus racos was a prehistoric bird that could not fly, but ran very fast. The Forus racos was a carnivore. Its big pointed beak meant it could catch small prey. Platybelodon. The Platybelodon is an ancestor of the elephant. The Platybelodon's trunk ended in two flat tusks, which it used like a shovel to find. The Platybelodon's trunk ended in two flat tusks, which it used like a shovel to find food on the ground. Titanoboa. The Titanoboa is the biggest snake to have ever lived on Earth. It was 15 meters long and weighed 2 tons. The Titanoboa must have eaten big fish and crocodiles, like anacondas do nowadays. Uintatherium. The Uintatherium had a huge head, but a very small brain. The Uintatherium had 2 large canines and small horns on its head.